We are still doing very well in terms of the league table, but what I'm seeing on the pitch makes us look like we are not playing very well. But on the other hand, when you look at the stats, then we are performing extremely well. Something is afoot, and I think what we have to do is just trust the process, forget what we're seeing, and focus on the stats, because the stats don't lie. Let's go and kick some balls. Hello and welcome back to the Road to Glory Part 88 Season 10 here at Preston. And as you can see from the table, we are joint top of the Premier League with Newcastle. We have both played 14 games and we both have 32 points and are equal on goal difference with a goal difference of 14. We are only separated alphabetically. And today we will be playing two games. We will be at home to Southampton and then we will have an away trip to Wolves. And these are not easy fixtures because nothing is for sure in this Premier League season so far, and there have been some very strange results. And what I'm seeing on the pitch as well seems very odd. It seems like we are not playing very well, but when we look at the stats, everything seems hunky-dory. So we are going to trust the process, trust the tactic, play the way we play, and see what happens, because the stats don't lie. And just maybe what we're seeing on the screen played out in front of us is being a little economical with the truth. We're going to trust the stats rather than the pictures. But before we get into all that, if you are brand new to the channel and you like FM content and you love to see people suffer playing this game, then you're in the right place. So why not subscribe, like, watch and comment, help the channel to grow and help us to support the very good stuff that you can see scrolling up above. And while we are on that subject, the YouTube algorithm needs likes and comments. It's likes and comments that will help us to grow, and it's that will get YouTube to push out the video to those who have not yet had a chance to watch the channel. So while you're here, drop a like, give us a comment, and help YouTube to push the channel to new viewers and help us to grow so that we can support the very good cause that we are trying to help. But let's have a look at what's happened on the pitch since you were last with us. And in terms of the schedule, when you were last here, you saw us have that 1-1 draw against Sheffield United in the Carabao Cup 4th round, which we won eventually on penalties. And we followed that up with a 2-0 defeat against what is becoming a bogey team, Everton. And then an away trip to Aston Villa resulted in a very good 1-0 victory. Aston Villa, who were top of the Premier League at the time and who are now in third. And then we followed that with a fantastic 3-1 victory at home to struggling Tottenham. And I'm wondering why all these teams behind us are struggling a little bit, and it could be the European hangover. We are not in Europe, and these teams that are just below us are all playing in Europe, and they may be struggling for fitness, and that could be the reason why we are doing so well at this time. And if you look at our recent form, it is very impressive, and we have only lost once in the last 10 fixtures. And on the pitch, though, it does look as if we are struggling to perform, and it does not look as if we are a team that should be right up there among the title contenders. And although it is early in the season, I believe it is possible that we could compete for one of the European places at the end of this season. But while it does look like we're poor in terms of what we're seeing on the screen, if we look at the stats for our last 5 matches, we are actually doing very well. And there are a great deal of positives and very few negatives. One of the few negatives is that Adam Charteris has lost possession more than any other player, but he is also listed as one of the most creative players that we've got. And so I guess that he's going to lose possession if he is taking chances, trying crosses and trying through balls and all sorts of other stuff. He is going to lose possession. But if he's performing well and he's the worst player, then the other players must be doing extremely well. Final third entries, we have conceded a lot from the left, but we have had an attacking wing back on the left-hand side, and so we are probably giving up a little bit of space on the left-hand side. So I'm not too worried about what is going on here. And in terms of the positives, it seems like the low block is working. The opposition are struggling to get long-range shots on target. We are working to plan and getting most of our opportunities through the centre of the field, which is exactly what we want to do. And we are keeping possession well, and when we are keeping possession, we are then creating chances after long spells of possession. So in terms of the tactic, it seems to be working really well. And if we go to the Premier League stats and we take a look at the detailed stats, in terms of average possession, we are just 8th, but we are averaging 53%, which is pretty good for the Premier League. Top of the league, Chelsea, are only on 58. So I would say in terms of possession, we're doing very, very well. And in terms of goals scored, we are 5th with 22 goals scored, and goals per game, we are in 4th with 1.57 goals per game. In terms of our cross completion, we are not doing that great. We are in 15th place, but we are not a crossing team, so I wouldn't expect our players to be completing a lot of crosses. Goals from corners, we are doing quite well. We are joint 3rd with 2 goals from corners, and goals from indirect free kicks, we don't have any goals from indirect free kicks. So I can understand why the fans are a little bit upset that we're not doing very well in terms of the set pieces. We are not blessed with great set piece takers, but overall I would say the stats are saying that we are performing extremely well. In terms of goals conceded, we are top of the league. We have only conceded 8, which is the best in the league. So whilst the data hub is saying that defensively we're a bit shaky, the actual stats are saying that we are not shaky and we are actually doing very well. We don't concede goals from corners or free kicks, and in terms of our tackles won, we are 5th in the league and we win a lot of tackles. Possession won, we don't win the ball back as much as we would like to, but that also could be to do with the fact that we are in possession quite a lot of the time. And so overall, it does look like we are performing exceptionally well in terms of the statistics, even though it doesn't look like we're doing very well on the pitch. So we are going to trust the stats. I believe the tactic is working. It may have something to do with the other teams around us being in Europe, and we are not in Europe, and therefore perhaps a little bit fitter than the opposition. But we're going to run with this. We're going to trust the tactic. We're going to trust the players, and we are going to hopefully get some good results today. So without much further fuss, let's go and play Southampton. Let's go and kick some balls. And so the team for today against Southampton is Alton in goal with Charteris, Stoiker, Seligret and Kabar at the back, Milic, McCann, Bellingham and Agahoa in midfield, with Rojas and Ferguson up front. We are still struggling for forwards. We only have 2 forwards fit at the moment, and I'm hoping that we can get a good result here today against Southampton. They are a very pacey team, Southampton, and we do struggle traditionally to get results against very fast teams. So we'll do our best. We're not going to panic. We are joint top of the league. And I think we need to show all these pundits that their praise is justified, and that getting a good result today against Southampton could put us top of the league on our own and separate us from Newcastle. But Newcastle have a fixture away at West Ham. We're hoping West Ham can do us a favour, and we need to get out there and win this game against Southampton. Do our best, but it is Southampton who are in the ascendancy early on. Southampton do have the early match momentum. We're not playing extremely well at the moment. We're defending fairly well. We've only limited them to just 1 shot. We haven't created anything ourselves. But this is the way that we play with the low block, and we are trying to counter teams, and hopefully we will create something soon, and there will be a highlight very soon. But nothing actually has happened in the first 30 minutes. Southampton have definitely had the better of the game. We will need to check things at half time and try to sharpen up a little bit. We're going to need to do better in the second half than we have done in the first. Southampton, though, are tiring, and De Silva Melo is a bit of a problem, and we need to probably do something with him at half-time as well. But at the moment, it's an absolute stalemate in terms of the game, and there has not been a single highlight. And let's hope that we can do a little better in the second half. And I think I'll go and tweak the tactic a little bit. And I think what we'll say is, I think we've been very unlucky out there. I'm going to say, keep going. You have the ability, and you weren't that bad. Get out there, and we can still win this. And although we haven't created much, we've defended very well, and we have come into the game a little bit towards the end of the second half. However, it is Southampton who've started the second half in the better way. We've tried to close down Silva Melo on the wing there, and we are also going to hard tackle him now to try and stop him from being as creative as he's been. And we are not performing extremely well. No one is performing very, very well. Southampton are having a poor game up top as well as us. But we do have a highlight, but Southampton have won the ball and they are bringing it forward. We're asking the team to drop off a little bit more because of Southampton's pace. And if there's only going to be one highlight in the game, I'm guessing something's going to happen here, and Southampton have scored. And that is not exactly what I wanted. One highlight in the game, and Southampton have scored. And I'm going to go a little bit more positive now. We have to try and get back into this game. Is this the beginning of the end? And it is so interesting that when I play live games, we just look so poor on the pitch. And I really don't know what that's about. And it really is incredible that what I'm seeing doesn't match what the stats are saying. And every time I do this live, we suffer a defeat. And Newcastle are actually being defeated as well. We have to make some changes here. And so we have made some changes, and let's hope that we can perform a little bit better in the last 15 minutes. This is not what I was hoping for today. We could have opened a gap against Newcastle here, but we've just been poor. Our home form has been worse than our away form, and it's not brilliant what I'm seeing, but we do have a chance. There is a shot. It's tipped over the crossbar, goes out for a corner. I don't think it's going to be our day, but what can I do? We just have to trust this process. West Ham are still beating Newcastle, and we will do what the assistant is saying. He may be right. Let's get some crosses into the box. We are now in attacking mode. We're not creating much. It doesn't look great, and it hasn't been a great performance by the team today. In fact, it's been an absolutely diabolically bad performance again. And if we don't win these games, then we're not going to win any titles, any cups, and I have to tell them I don't like what I just saw. It was a dreadful performance, and we deserved to be beaten by the look of it. Southampton were definitely the better team, but everybody else has lost. Tottenham won their game, Arsenal have won their game, so people are closing the gap on us. But we are still joint top, as both Newcastle and Preston have lost today. And so I'm not very happy with the team. And that is not what I expected for the first match today. We have to get ourselves ready for the game against Wolves now. A much tougher affair, I think. And let's hope that we can put on a better performance against Wolves. We will see you for the Wolves game. And so the team for today against Wolves is Alton, Pugh, Seligrat, Ganari and Kabar at the back, Gourlay, Simpson and Applethwaite in midfield, and Verdejo, Rojas and Ferguson up front. We are really struggling to get forwards into the game because all our forwards are now unfit, and it's very difficult to win games when you don't have forwards who can play. I'm really not sure why this is happening, and hopefully we'll put on a better performance today and we will win this football match against Wolves. We really need to get a result, and somehow we've got to turn things around from the last fixture. And here is Kabar. Kabar looking inside, finds Gourlay. Let's pass the ball a little bit crisper today. And it does look a little bit better as Seligrat. Seligrat is looking for Pugh. Pugh with a ball up the line, and it is again a terrible, terrible pass. And we have turned the ball over to Wolves. And Wolves are looking to bring the ball forward. And we must do better than what we've been doing. Otherwise, we are going to find ourselves in serious trouble. And that's well won by Simpson, who's not the best tackler in the world. He's not the strongest boy. And he is one of the strongest boys up top there. And he just got robbed very easily. And we have won the ball back. Pugh has picked up the ball. Simpson looking for Ferguson over the top. Ferguson is in. It's saved by the goalkeeper, and Ferguson puts it into the side netting. It's still Wolves 0, Preston 0. We are still in third as it stands at the moment. Aston Villa have taken over from Newcastle and ourselves, and we need to get a result here. We need to go back to the top. I do feel, though, that I think what I'm seeing is that we are not a very good team. We've been very fortunate getting the results that we've got, and we have scored. It's Ferguson. The referee is checking for offside. I do have a feeling this is going to be disallowed. And it was, although it is good, it's good attacking play. The goal is awarded. We are fortunate again. From a set piece, it was headed clear. We had nobody on the near post there, which is quite interesting. Rojas picked the ball back up and Ferguson put it in. I'm not even sure why they were checking for offside there. He was miles onside, and I'm not sure why VAR was needed. It was a good goal. We are a goal up, and we have gone back to the top of the table. Newcastle are playing Arsenal, which is at the moment, it's Newcastle 0, Arsenal 0. This is a big game for Newcastle. Arsenal are really struggling this season. They are in 8th, but Wolves do have a corner, and it's headed over the crossbar. We need to be better than what we're doing. We are winning the game. We're not dominating possession as much as I'd like to be, but we're creating more chances, and in that respect we are dominating the game. And we do have a free kick, and Rojas is over the ball for the free kick. It's to the far post. It is a chance, and it has been cleared, and it goes out for a goal kick. Looked like a corner, but I think maybe he was offside. Wolves are tiring, and they are looking a little bit more tired than we are, which is a good thing. And maybe we can push on a little bit more in the second half. And Simpson, who's having a tidy game. Simpson finds Applethwaite. He turns and fires it over the crossbar. I think not Applethwaite, that maybe was Ferguson. It remains Wolves 0, Preston 1. We are ahead in this game, and that's all I can ask for. We're not completely hammering Wolves, but we're doing enough to deserve to be in front. And here's Kabar with a cross, looking for Ferguson. It's headed clear, comes out to Pugh. Let's get this ball back into the box. Don't dilly-dally. Pugh is bursting into the box. Was he fouled there, referee? It looked like a little trip to me. The referee is checking VAR, I think. He's gone running over to have a look at the TV. But it looked like he was tripped to me there, referee. And what is the decision? We have no decision yet. He's really taking his time over this one. He has made a decision, and the penalty is awarded. I'm not quite sure who's going to take the penalty. We are a team who lack penalty takers. I think our top penalty taker is an attribute of 12. And what is the referee going to do here? He's having a word with the Wolves defender. And it is, I think, will be Rojas to take the penalty. Can we score? Yes, just about. It's Wolves 0, Preston 2. And I think probably just about what we deserve. We have had more chances than Wolves. We've created better chances. We're just about ahead in terms of possession, and we look a more dangerous side at the moment, shall we say, than Wolves. Antonio is someone I need to keep an eye on, and at halftime I may have to do something about him. But at the moment it's looking good. It's Wolves 0, Preston 2, and let's go and have a look at what I can do with Antonio. And so we have tried to do something about Antonio. We're going to tight mark him as well as hard tackle him and see if we can't stop him from being a little bit of a nuisance. Wolves do have a throw, but we've intercepted, given it back though to Wolves, and Wolves are looking to bring it up the line. We are looking as if we're labouring a little bit here as Wolves are looking to mount an attack. I'm going to go back to a more balanced way of playing because Wolves are looking a stronger team at the moment from what I'm seeing. And we do have the ball though, and here is Simpson. Simpson, who's having a tidy game there in midfield. He's been out of favour recently as he's been out of favour. McCann has been playing better than Simpson as well as Bellingham. And that is another bad foul. And are they going to get a man sent off here? This will be a good thing. And if we can get Wolves having a red card, now we should be able to dominate this game. And hopefully now we'll go on and win this quite comfortably. And against 10 men, we should be doing okay. I'm not going to do anything other than play in a very balanced way. We don't need to go gung-ho. It might be an idea to get Ferguson off the pitch. He's quite right. I'm going to go and make a few more changes. And so we have made a couple of changes. Bring some fresh legs onto the pitch. Tried not to take off the players who are having good games, because at the moment we are pretty much in charge of this game. It remains Wolves 0, Preston 2. We're creating chances again, but not getting shots on target. But it's okay at the moment. We just need to win this match. And at the moment in the other game, it's Newcastle 0, Arsenal 0. So we are going to go clear on top by ourselves. So let's make a final couple of changes. And so we only had one change to make. We brought on Charteris to just freshen up things on the right hand side there. And at the moment it remains Wolves 0, Preston 2. The match is coming to its conclusion, and we have kept another clean sheet, and we have won. We have turned it around from the last performance, and we have won the game. And that was nice work, everyone. Well done. You've done well. We are back on top of the league, and that's where we want to stay. I still believe it's all going to go wrong. I believe we've been extremely fortunate to be where we are. The games that we have won have not made any sense at all to me, and it's been a very strange season in terms of results, and even losing to Southampton there was a very strange result, and other teams around us have been having awful performances as well. It's been a very strange season, and I still think the worst is yet to come. I'm going to play through December, and we'll probably come back for Watford and Arsenal, as the transfer window will then be starting in January, which will be also a very busy month. And so there's a lot of games to get through. But that's it for this episode. If you are new to the channel and you like FM content, then why not subscribe, like, watch and comment. Help the channel to grow. Help us to support the very good stuff that you can see scrolling up above. And remember, if you have made it this far, drop us a like, give us a comment, and help YouTube to push the channel out to people who have yet to be introduced to us. And hopefully that way we can then grow. All that remains to be said now, from a very content manager, I would say, although I think the worst is yet to come. We will see you in the next episode.